Halloween 2018 is directed by David Gordon Green and written by Danny McBride and stars Jamie Lee Curtis and also stars Will Patton and Judy Greer. And this is basically now the true sequel to the original 1978 film by John Carpenter. And John Carpenter also acted as a consultant on this film as well to give kind of some input on the movie. And basically this movie deals with the 40th anniversary of Laurie Strode, who escaped the murders of Michael Myers after his bloodbath that took place in 1978. And it deals with basically Michael Myers is, once again, just to kind of not go into spoilers because we'll have a separate spoiler discussion. He's been incarcerated for 40 years and he gets out, and basically Laurie Strode is preparing herself to basically finish him off for good as revenge. And now, here's a little bit of backstory because we don't want to go into too much detail. If you've been following our channel, we talked heavily about the other Halloween films in a retrospective that you're welcome to check out, and we also did a pre-review of the movie with our initial predictions. I've been a big fan of the original Halloween movies, at least for some of the original movie and some of the sequels, but I was really not looking forward to this because if you've listened to our pre-review that we did, we were in the very low expectations with this one.
As you guys know, there's been this big, quiet debate, kind of like a kind of prediction. Everybody's been following in, giving their theories of hey, what do you think about the change of the sister and the brother thing and all that stuff? Which, by the way, I'm just going to go into right now and say that part while I'm on the subject so we ain't jumping around. The brother and sister thing, which isn't a spoiler, is not true. Is not in the film. They really aren't brother and sister. It's confirmed. In the film,
and they even point that out in the film. That
I highly see a lot of people say they don't like that. They are glad they got rid of the brother sister thing. I highly disagree, and it has a lot to do with, as you guys know, they cut out part 2 out of this franchise. It's just about 1. That's all it's about. And my issue with that being is part 2, Halloween 2. For one, I feel like if you add the shit that she could see that he comes back to life and won't stop like a killing machine, and he's now like a futurist killer, like a monster and stuff, and then you add that the tragedy that she finds out it's her brother, and the tragedy, it just builds a stronger tragedy story, and therefore I can buy her more why she's Sarah Connored and crazy in this one. Though, ignoring all that, it just only focuses on that she found her 3 dead friends and that split 5-minute battle in the end of the original. And that's where we get this craziness of her.
Well, and I don't buy it. And here's... and so looking forward to it, I really wasn't looking forward to the way they were approaching with this angle. And so upon seeing the movie, I thought this movie was a lot worse than I thought it would be. Like, we had our predictions going to it that we were right on, but I just felt like I was more pissed off than I was anything else.
I didn't think it was going to be, I'm not saying it's horrible. It is definitely not good, and it is a highly disappointing film.
This, to me, I think, after really upon thinking about it, it's probably I'm going to say, we will say this, it's better than Resurrection and Part 5 for sure. I can't really compare. I mean, it's hard for me to talk about Halloween 6 because that movie, like I said, it has its problems. But if I'm going by just the theatrical cut, I do like this a little better than theatrical cut in some aspects. But it is kind of having the same problems on some of the other films, like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
It's currently, I gave it almost a tie with 6, but I agree with you. At least 2018 is better than Resurrection and Part 5, but that's not saying much. Those movies are straight just falling out of the sky dog shit. And you're barely better than dog shit.
So we'll get some of our pros out of the way. I do like Jamie Lee Curtis. She's one of the best things I do like about this film. Her performance-wise, she was great. I enjoyed a lot of her captivity as Laurie Strode. I did like where the character was going at first because I like how she's in this secluded area. She's got like surveillance cameras and stuff and everything like that. And the way that she's having to deal with the stuff with her daughter and things like that. I actually got into that stuff.
Like, I'm glad they brought her back and I was glad to see that John Carpenter is back doing the score. I absolutely love
the score in this.
This is one of my favorite scores out of every one of his films, to be honest with you, because I felt like a lot of his track numbers are like usually 5 or 6 or 7 in a typical Halloween film that he's involved in. This one he did about 20, 21.
Yeah.
So I loved, and some of it blends very well with some of the scenes. I did like you said, Laurie Strode's back. It was nice seeing her back. It was nice seeing Nick Castle playing the Shape.
Yeah, you do get to see him, like, I think a couple of times without, like, kind of glimpses of Michael Myers' face, because we did look it up.
Stephen Lang.
Yeah, basically, I almost expected...
He looked just like Stephen Lang in
from
that
Don't
movie.
Breathe.
Yeah.
I almost expected him to turn the lights off. It says, "Now you can see me."
Now you can see what I see.
Yeah.
But anyways, I did like that.
I like the look of Michael Myers' mask. That's like how it's all
Michael Myers was a damn good look. It was a great mask. I loved, the look of him was great.
Yeah. I also liked the brutality.
The brutality
was outstanding.
Holy shit.
I enjoy the hell out of.
I will say I was blown away with the brutality. Yeah. I didn't think it was going to go that distance, and boy, was I surprised. Yeah. And I liked it.
Yeah. Now there are some death scenes that they could have done a little better with, but for the most part, you get to see a lot of great aftermath death scenes, but also scenes that you see him really go into detail with.
Yeah. At first, I would complain that I didn't get to see all the cooler deaths that you do see the aftermath that looked really brutal. But at the same time, boy, did I go in detail when he finds some of the bodies in this film. Yeah. And, holy shit, he fucking tore them up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's another thing I will say, too, on the direction standpoint. The movie does capture the look of Halloween like you would expect, because it has the great title fonts. It's got the feeling of the theme in some scenes.
In some scenes. I do like the rising of the pumpkin as the Halloween, the orange Halloween macabre look to it. Yeah. Yeah. Or Akkad, where he used to do the orange thing. Akkad, and it has like the look. Instead of doing the pumpkin you see as it gets closer to the screen, it actually is a metaphor of rising. Yeah. Like Michael Myers is going to rise in the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I did like that. That was a pretty clever thing.
I also got to enjoy on some of the aspects where Michael Myers like just standing there in the background, or you have like the parts where they're building some suspense up. It does work in some areas with that.
Yes, there are some suspenseful areas where they do the classic little high pitched score, and you can actually for the first half is where they actually do it the strongest, because you have him like looking through windows,
through the shadows.
You can kind of see him in the shadows, and there's a strobe light scene
that I really enjoy.
The kid that sees Michael Myers, and then the strobe light, and he's getting closer as it turns off. Not strobe light; it's more like a garage, like a sensor light. Yeah, and it was pretty cool. I did like some of the disturbing images some of the characters see, like with the one scene in particular with the statues and stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
I did like they try to do some some disturbing shit with the movie.
But I also got to enjoy some of the, like you were saying, with John Carpenter's like music in this. Like it really gets you into that
mood. It does blend very well with the scenes.
I also got to give it to him that there is one character that I got into a little bit too was Judy Greer's character. I like that she had a story arc that was going on where basically in the film she's the daughter of Laurie Strode, and there's a backstory involving her that I actually thought did kind of pay off pretty well. Yeah, that was getting into a lot.
Yeah, I do like her character. Unfortunately, I think she was underused.
Yeah, but I still like where they were going, what they went with her,
and the person who they choose to go with more kind of was a disappointment. I wish they would have went with the daughter, because she's the more closest relative than granddaughter. In fact, I really wish they didn't have a granddaughter in this.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I really didn't. But they had to, because in these type of films you got to have the whole teenage clique and then their school.
Yeah, which I'll admit the actress that plays the granddaughter was fine.
She was fine.
I just we'll get to our comments here in a second, but I had a problem with her friends that come into play later in the film. But anyway, going back to some of our other pros, I mean, that's really about it. Like, I mean, the movie, it has the look and a little bit of the feel of the original Carpenter film, like they were trying to do with some and then there are a couple times where they pay homage to certain things from the original film that I enjoy as well, and even some of the sequels. Yeah. But
the homage is where the things that the people need to understand the difference from homage and carbon copy. And now that we're in here in our cons, I want to start off.
Now we get to our cons.
So I love the homage. Like, for instance, there's a scene where you actually get to see these kids that are trick-or-treating wearing the same outfits they did in Season of the Witch.
Which wasn't even part of the Michael Myers
There's homages that they do in this film that I do enjoy. However, now welcome to our cons. I was kind of pissed off the structure of the story, how it was written, because now I'm saying homage, but then there's
this movie
now
just
people
rips off.
Well, people
shit.
tell me, oh, like they say like there's a scene from classics of all the other ones that they had ignored. I'm sorry, but it playing in your storyline, I find that to be carbon copy.
That is. It's literally stealing scene for scene of some of those other films.
Because they steal from actually almost every Halloween film ever made, and they actually put it in their story, and it builds the entire structure of the story. I'm sorry, that is fucking lazy.
Yeah, it is.
Writing at its finest,
and also,
man. Shame on you, what's his face?
The writer?
Yeah, fuck.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride. Dude, that was lazy, man. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, dude. That was... I mean, I don't know if you were the one that thought of that idea.
David Doreen that wrote
or
the film,
some
whoever wrote it,
Jackwagon was a stupid ass for thinking that was a good idea.
Yeah,
because it actually those scenes that they carbon copy play vital roles, and that's why I'm pissed because they even there's a carbon copy in somewhere in the end too. It's
which really pissed me off.
And
that really got to me because
so you close it out with a copycat of a scene of another Halloween film.
Twice they do it. 2 times.
Don't get me wrong.
Movies, actually.
Let me ask you this: wasn't the purpose of this film is because everybody thought 2 should have been part of it, but didn't people thought that they got too out there with them?
Yeah, they were too exploitive.
So it was trying to restructure it,
and just basically
and
respect
these
the first
people.
Movie.
These directors got everybody coming together and agreeing that all the other sequels are shit, therefore, so they can, beat their chests on making this new one, only to really copy that.
Yeah, it's hypocritical because the movie tries to play itself, okay, the sequels never happened. Well, here's the problem with this. Why the fuck are you ripping off those other films? Yes, and also, if the movie likes to pay respect to the original... there are literally 2 parts in this film where literally they fucking contradict shit from the first movie, which should not.
Paying homage is different from carbon copying, people.
Yeah.
Carbon copying, or homage is something that's in the distance that ain't part of your storyline, is like a homage, Maybe there could have been a painting from the 4th movie.
Or there could have been a reference made to, like, the original, and could, like...
The Devil's Eyes or something.
Or, like, symbolizing something. I get that. But when you're deliberately stealing scenes from the other films, you have a problem there.
Yeah.
And also, I gotta get to this, the editing was a mess too, especially when you have scenes where we have, like you see in the trailer, where the bus crashes. It actually shows like a scene that's before and after that.
The bus crash is unexplained,
and the way that Laurie Strode like comes into certain places is out of the ordinary.
Yeah, like you have Laurie there, then you have Laurie literally eating in the dinner scene like there was 10 minutes missing, and then there was a death at this house and she's suddenly there, and then you have the cop doing kind of similar structure where he's here and then he's over here, and then he shows up at the house with and then I have a lot of problems with like the town really not recognizing Michael Myers at all.
I know,
like because when Michael Myers is loose in the film, that ain't a spoiler. It's never mentioned.
That's what I'm saying.
What the fuck is going on?
And everything is just happened to be because he's just a killer,
and people just are like, "Oh, Michael Myers, he's a pussy."
Not to mention, we'll get to our spoilers for it, but the motivation really doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
If
people
you look at
said, "Oh, we got rid of the sister thing. We're going to have a new motivation." There's literally no motivation established at all in this movie. It's just literally he's sprouting out in fucking areas. He's in these 2 people's homes that have no real recollection of anything that they should have been killed. I get Michael Myers is just an unknown, just a force to just kill everything. But then he just blankly just gives up killing just random people. And then it's like he's wanting to know Laurie and all them, but there's really no establishment that he notices Laurie.
Yeah,
that's another thing I don't get. It just he just shows up and him and Laurie kind of like go at it. She recognizes him very well, obvious reasons, but he doesn't really. I don't see much of a like Laurie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like kind of like that, like H2O did that, and that's what I really loved about when that part where he looked at her, he's like, "It's your eyes."
Yeah,
thing.
But also another thing I have an issue with
characters.
There's some characters, especially the fucking friends of the granddaughter, I couldn't stand.
That chubby guy and then that little black kid, man.
They really stuck out for me as the worst. Like
even the mayor, dude, it just was that pointless.
Was a point. Well, also he's meant to be like he reminded me of that fucking mayor from Texas Chainsaw 3D. Yeah. How he doesn't believe all this shit happened. I'm like, Oh my God! Do we really have to have a character like this in a fucking slasher
film? You got a
film?
list telling you all the people who broke out. You captured all of them in mere minutes.
Yeah.
Which that just came out fucking fast, out of nowhere. And you all of a sudden just Michael Myers is the only one on the list, and like everybody, and the mayor goes, "Oh, Michael Myers. Oh, and it's just you guys are just making up." His theory is, it's a conspiracy theory, or you're propaganda in my town.
Bullshit.
And then that's about it. We don't really hear from him again. I'm like, the fuck is this shit?
But the worst butchering of all for me was the ending. Like, the ending, like I said, we'll go into detail, but there was basically a fuck you to the sequels, but also basically saying that the sequels, we still like them.
Yeah, and this movie can't make up its mind if Michael Myers is human, or is he a monster?
More, or basically, yeah.
It's human, monster. Human,
it's
monster.
going back and
human,
forth. It is so contradictory.
There's something that happens in this where they actually, people say they ignore 2 through all of them.
Yeah.
But technically, there's something else that gets ignored, and I just don't see why no one's pissed about that one, especially. That came out as a surprise. They're ignoring that too, and I'm like,
what I'm saying, man.
I'm like, oh my God, man, this is getting worse by the fucking minute.
I know.
It's not a horror. All right, it is a bad movie. Yes, it is. It's one of those rare occasions where there's so much elements that I like in it, but because the shit that happens in it that pisses me off to no end was not just your typical fuck ups. And basically, what I mean by elements to where they can't figure out if he's going to be good or bad, or a monster, or just a human, is the fact that, I mean, is it believable that he went out without a fight to go to jail?
No, I don't believe that a second, because in the original film, he actually, got shot 6 times, fell off a roof, and he got up. Are you might believe that he would get up after...
And he just went up... Well,
just
it's not... There's something that happens with the end of... Yeah, but I'm not going to go into that detail. That's spoiler if you want to know what happened, what they do with another Halloween film.
Yeah.
But anyways... Yeah, so we're led to believe he's in jail, just like, take me to jail. It's basically how it went. But yet, he's got so much force to break out, and he's, like, going through steel. So it's like, okay, you said he was human to the point where he couldn't get out of the fucking Smith Grove.
Yeah.
But he just punched through fucking steel in the bus.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, how did... The movie can't make up its mind.
Yeah.
It really can't.
I'm actually blown away the praise it's getting, because really it's not that great.
No, it's
really
not.
It's not.
It's how he predicted with Jigsaw last year.
Yeah,
it's on that level.
Oh my God, I nailed it on the head of my predictions. A couple months ago, I started that prediction.
Yeah.
Where I said this is going to turn out like fucking Jigsaw.
And it did.
It's going to add all these stories together. You're going to think it's trying to be clever. It's going to do something new. But if you really dig and dissect it, it really don't.
It doesn't.
And Jigsaw did that, and it pissed me the fuck off. Jigsaw was the most pointless fucking comeback of a franchise of excuse.
It was, man.
Yeah, because basically the dude that at the end of the movie gets up like he's fucking Hoffman, but yet he's so uninteresting. Like Hoffman's was a way better like fucking apprentice. This dude, the dude that had in fucking Jigsaw couldn't fucking act worth a shit.
Hell
Looked
no.
like something from CSI, but in a low budget.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Nip Tucky type fucking,
Yeah.
but a low budget one.
Yeah, I agree. So with that being said,
Anything else bad?
No, we'll go into more in our spoilers.
Yeah,
the way we get to it.
just go
But
look
for
at
now,
our spoilers.
I'm going to give the movie a disaster grade on the Film Freaks meter.
Yes, I'm sorry, it's a disaster grade in Film
Yeah,
Freaks
if you
meter.
like it, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad the novelty of a Halloween film being back is cool.
Yeah.
But this was not a good start to bring it back.
I think it was a bad. It was a good attempt, because I think that I'd like to see this all come back again.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it coming back, where we see Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, and
John Carpenter,
everybody back. That's a dream come true. But it was horribly executed.
Yeah.
And Danny McBride, to me, should never have been given the job to write it.
And the other last con I'll say is...
and then even David Gordon Green, or whatever his name is, I've looked at his filmography just so I can remember everything he's done. Other than Pineapple Express, I really do not like his filmography. I don't think he's done anything that stands out. Stronger, I saw, was the recent one, and even that was the poor man's version of Patriots Day.
Yeah.
Because Stronger was a mess. And that's what this movie reminded me of.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But but we'll go into more detail with
yeah.
our spoiler discussion. But with that,
no.
for those of you who
I was
have
gonna say
also seen
something.
the Halloween, this one, the Halloween 2018, let us know in the comments below of what you thought about it and the other films as well. And if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to our channel and check out some other reviews here on our channel at filmphreaks.com. And we'll be seeing you on our next review. We'll see you later.
Later.